Hello friends, I am Mr. Pathan Mohammad Kalimullah Khan, a biology teacher. I am Master of Biology and having 22 years experience in teaching biology at the level of 10th as well as 11th and 12th. Today I am making one short video for you to understand the lesson life process of standard 10th CBSE. Let's learn some concepts of this chapter 6 life process. Now, let's try to understand some concepts regarding this chapter. Very first concept which we have to learn is criteria to decide whether something is alive. Now, how we can decide whether something is alive? That criteria we are going to learn in this chapter. Second point which we have to be cover in this video lecture is concept of life process. ऐसे ही तीसरा पॉइंट हमको कवर करना है ये चैप्टर में, द बेसिक लाइफ प्रोसेस. सो इन दिस वे दिस थ्री मेन पॉइंट विल कवर इन टुडेज वीडियो लेक्चर. So let's ready to learn about these points. Now very first point which we have to discuss here is criteria to decide whether something is alive. Now there is various criteria to decide whether something is alive or not. If we ask a common people how you will decide something is alive or not, so he will tell you that a person is moving, a dog is barking, the plants are green. This shows that they are alive. But according to the science, only plants are green in color. It doesn't mean that they are alive. Or only movement doesn't mean that they are alive. So how to decide whether something is alive? What criteria we should have to decide something is alive? Now here, the first thing is that if we say a person is moving, a dog is barking, then we can say it is alive. But when the dog is sleeping, it is not having any movement, then also we can say that dog is alive. How we can say? By observing the breathing movement. So we can say that breathing is one of the important criteria to decide whether the thing is alive or not. So breathing, we see animal are breathing and say they are alive. If they are sleeping, they are not moving, but they are breathing. So just by observing breathing we can say. But sometimes there are some animals which breathe without any kind of movement. Though they are breathing, but we can't see it. So how you will decide in that case? So second criteria is growth. Every living thing grows. Plant grows over time, so we say they are alive. Plants are growing, the size of the plant increasing day by day, the height of the plant increasing. Then by observing that we can say plant is living. But sometimes the growth is internal and that is not observable. So in that case, how you can decide? So the most important criteria to decide whether something is live or not, that is nothing but the movement. So movement you can say is the most important criteria to decide whether something is alive. Now, in case of some movement, it is easily visible. For example, in case of plant is growing. Growth of plant increases the size of plant and the height of plant. That easily we can see and we can decide the plant is alive. But in case of some movements are not visible. Still, they are alive. And some animals can breathe without visible movement. So, using visible movement as the defining characteristic of life is not enough. Then what we have to consider? The next thing which we have to consider is non-visible movement. We have to consider here the non-visible movement. Some movements are not easily visible like molecular movement. So sometimes a person is sleeping or sometimes there is no movement visible in case of plant, then also some internal changes takes place. Chemical reactions takes place in the body which moves the molecule. So that is called as non-visible movement or the molecular movement. Molecular movement in cell and tissue is necessary for all life process. So all living thing shows molecular movement because so many chemical changes takes place in the body, and due to that molecular movement is must. Now viruses do not show any molecular movement in them. You know very well, viruses are very small creature. They do not show any molecular movement in them until they infect some cell. That means until they enter in some cell, they cannot show any molecular movement, and that's why there is a controversy about whether they are truly alive or not. Whether they are truly alive or not. So why are molecular movement needed for life? Living organisms are well organized. Now here is a question that why there is need of molecular movement in case of living thing or life. So now you know very well, living organisms are well organized structure. That means living organism, the cell of every living organism is made up of molecule like carbohydrate, fat, protein. That molecules combine together to form cell, cell combine together to form tissue, tissue combine together to form organ, and organ together combine together to form organ system, and organ system together combine to form organism. So this is nothing but organized structure of living thing. This organized order, nature of living structure keep breaking down over time. That means as time passes, due to certain changes in the atmosphere, this structure may get broken down. The order may get break. And if this order is broken, that means that organism cannot remain alive. The organism will die. Now living creature must keep repairing and maintaining their structure. Now if suppose organism have to survive, that organism must keep repairing and maintaining their structure. And all this structure are made up of molecule, and they must move molecule all the time. And that's why the molecule are moving to repair, to maintain the structure of the organism. Now let's see the next point, that is the concept of life process. What are life process? Now see, the very important vital processes which are performed by every living thing are called as life process. If we want to define it properly, you can define it. Life process are the basic process in living organism which are necessary for maintaining their life. Here maintenance is important. मेंटेनेंस इंपॉर्टेंट है. लाइफ ऑर्गेनिज्म का जो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर है उसका मेंटेनेंस करने के लिए जो प्रोसेस इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट प्रोसेस आर कॉल्ड एज लाइफ प्रोसेस. नाउ द बेसिक प्रोसेस विच आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मेंटेनिंग द लाइफ आर न्यूट्रिशन, respiration, transportation and excretion. Now here just we try to understand the concept of this process. In next video lecture we'll learn in detail about each life process. So first we'll try to understand what is nutrition. So nutrition, simple question, simple answer. Nutrition is what? It is nothing but one of the life process. Now what kind of life process? Nutrition is the life process of taking food by an organism and utilization by the body. So nutrition, it is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. Now every living organism take in food and utilize in its body. Why food is needed? Because maintenance process need energy. Whatever maintenance process is going on in the body of living organism, that need energy, and the energy comes from outside of the body of the individual organism, and the source of energy is food. That's why every living organism need food. For growth of the body size of organism, additional raw material are also needed, and that also comes from outside. And this additional material needed by an organism are nothing but carbon based molecule. Depending upon the complexity of carbon sources, different organism can use different kind of nutrition process. So this is first life process, that is nutrition. Now second life process is respiration. What is respiration? It is the process by which food is burnt in the cell of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy. Now see, whatever food we are eating, that is different types of food material, and that food material having energy in different form. But for using that energy in our body, that should be converted into a particular form, and that is converted in the process of respiration. During respiration in the cell, the food, that is the glucose, oxidized and releases energy in the form of energy which can be used in our body. That is called as biological usable form of energy. Then the third process is transportation. It is the process by which food, oxygen, water and waste products are carried from one part of the body to the other. Now you know very well, in case of nutrition, we are taking food in. In case of respiration, it is get oxidized and releases energy, but this energy is needed by different parts of the body. This food material is needed by different parts of the body, and that is transported through the transportation system, especially oxygen from lungs to different parts of body, water and waste products which are produced during this also transported by transportation system. Now the fourth basic process is excretion. Now it is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. Now during oxidation of glucose and production of energy, certain waste materials are produced in the body that are poisonous and harmful, cannot be stored in our body, so that products should be released out, and that is given out by a process that is called as excretion. Now clearly here in these pictures you can see this is nothing but the process of nutrition, that is the digestive system. Here is the process of respiration, you can see the respiratory system. Here is the process of transportation where you can see circulatory system, and here is the process of excretion, here you can see excretory system. In detail in our next video lecture we have to learn about each and every life process. Now let's go to next point, that is in case of unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Now you know very well that unicellular organism are made up of only one cell. So no specific organs are there for taking in food, exchange of gases or removal of waste material. That means no specialized organ system is there, because complete body is made up of only single cell, and that's why single cell of the organism is directly in contact with the environment and can perform all this process. Here clearly you can see in this picture, this is unicellular organism amoeba obtaining direct food. So single cell is directly in contact with the food and obtaining food. But what happens in case of multicellular organism? So in case of multicellular organism, what happens? The complexity of the organism increases, and all the cell of the body is not in direct contact with the environment, and that's why direct diffusion of this material cannot take place in all cell, and hence to meet the requirement of all the cell, there is a special system in case of multicellular organism for each and every process. For nutrition, digestive system is there, respiration, respiratory system is there, circulation, circulatory system is there, and for excretion, excretory system is there. So this is all about the basic concept of this life process, lesson number 6. It is my part 1 lecture of this lesson. I hope you like it. If you like it, like this video, share it, as well as subscribe it. Then I will send you the next part of this chapter. Till then, thank you and have a good day. Thank you very much.